So hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining this webinar on scholarships and financing university studies in Japan. My name is Ilona Sakaguchi. I work here at the International Admissions Office. I think some of you are slowly coming in, but since it's time, I would like to go ahead and start. I would also like to mention that my admissions office colleagues are also here in the Zoom. And if you have any questions about any of the topics that I'm explaining now, then please feel free to leave your comments or questions in the chat, and my colleagues will answer you. And also at the end of the presentations, there will be a Q&A session, so you can also ask questions directly from me. But let's just go ahead and get started. So here's the content for today's presentation. As you can see, I would like to briefly introduce you to Nagoya University, where I'm working at, and then explain a little bit about our tuition fee system here, as well as daily living expenses in Japan. So when you're thinking about how to finance your studies in a foreign country, obviously, you need to kind of figure out how much it's going to cost to live there. Then we will talk a little bit about part-time work, as well as scholarships for undergraduate students, scholarships for graduate students, and external private foundation scholarships. And since this presentation today is about kind of the finance side of your studies, then I would also like to talk a little bit about the career paths of some of our graduates who graduated from the Nagoya University G30 program. But let's first introduce you to Nagoya University. So our university was founded in 1871, originally as a medical school. It's a designated national university, one of only 10 in Japan. And these 10 universities are chosen to kind of lead education and research in certain areas in Japan. So we are the kind of the biggest and the most research intensive university here in the central Japan region. And we are quite famous for having a lot of Nobel Prize laureates coming from Nagoya University. We have done especially well in the science fields, especially chemistry and physics. There have been 6 Nobel Prize winners in the last 25 years. And of course, some of you might be interested in rankings and things like that. So just a few years ago, we were ranked the 3rd best university in Japan, according to the Shanghai ranking. Nagoya University is kind of a mid-sized university. There are about 16,000 students. And of those 16,000 students, 16% are international students. So you'll have lots of chances to make Japanese friends, but also probably will have a community of international students from your own country. And the program that I represent here at Nagoya University is the G30 International Program. This is kind of our flagship program for international education. We offer full degree programs that are completely taught in English, and there are 10 undergraduate programs, and depending how you calculate it, 19 to 27 graduate programs. So some programs have both master's and PhD courses available. But since today's presentation should be mostly about financing your studies in Japan and different types of scholarships, then today I will not focus on this kind of academic side of explaining about the G30 programs. If you're interested in that side or interested to learn about kind of the admissions process, then we have lots of resources on our website and on our social media. So I can share that information to you at the end of the presentation. But now let's talk about the basic kind of fees that you would need to pay if you were to study in Japan. So of course there are tuition fees. Something that I would like to emphasize is that the living and studying in Japan is actually quite affordable. So tuition fees at Nagoya University are only about kind of $3,580 annually. So if you take a look at this graph here, you can see that the tuition fees in national universities in Japan are almost 10 times lower than in UK or US for international students. And that is kind of for multiple reasons. First of all, we are a national university, as I said, so the government supports us a lot. And also in Japan, generally the national universities ask the same tuition from the international students and the local students. So even if you're an international student in Japan, we are not asking you to kind of pay extra tuition. Also, currently the yen is kind of low, so you will the prices in Japan are relatively low now to international students. So this is not a reflection on the quality of university or the education. This kind of very affordable tuition fee is more a reflection on how much Japanese government wants to invest in education and the education of also international students. Of course, there are some other fees that you have to pay when you come to the university. There's a very moderate application fee, only about $33. Then once you are admitted, or if you're admitted to our program, then there is a registration fee. This is a one-time payment that you pay on the year when you enroll to our program. That's about $1,850. And of course, we ask you to pay for a student insurance to cover any accidents you might have on the campus or while doing research and things like that. But this is basically the kind of fee structure our university has for international students. Now, of course, education is still expensive, and some of you might struggle to pay the full tuition fee. And for those kinds of students, we do offer a tuition waiver. So tuition waiver generally is between 30% to up to 100% of the annual tuition. And most international students are eligible to get about 30 to 50% tuition waiver, as the tuition waiver is basically based on your parents' tax records. And if your parents live abroad, then their tax record in Japan is zero. So you are considered to not to have as much financial support from your parents as the Japanese students might be. Just to mention that the full tuition waiver is only granted for some special reasons like illness or childbirth. Also, exchange study abroad might qualify you for the full tuition waiver. So even if you have to extend your studies, you want to study abroad, then the total cost of your education might not increase due to this exchange study tuition waiver. And if you are not given a tuition waiver, maybe your parents live in Japan, then we do offer non-interest short-term loans to students who are struggling financially. As I mentioned, the requirement is based mostly on actually your kind of guarantors' financial statements. And the selection is mostly based on household income. So when you apply, you have to submit kind of different documents detailing your financial situation. And the tuition waiver is can be applied both by the regular undergraduate, graduate, and graduate students. So this you can apply after you enroll to Nagoya University, and the university will help you prepare all the application documents. So I would say quite a large number of our G30 international students do get a tuition waiver, especially if they haven't received one of the scholarships that I will talk to you about in a few slides. Now let's talk about living expenses a little bit. So this is something that it's important for you to kind of understand when you are thinking about if you can afford studying in Japan. So as I mentioned, Japan is quite affordable. Here is kind of a breakdown of living expenses. This breakdown is from a pamphlet published by the study abroad organization JASO in Japan. So here you can see that they estimate that an international student should expect to pay about $607 a month for everything. So for their rent, their utilities, insurance, commute, food, etc. So if I think about this as a Finnish person, I think that this is quite affordable. So many things like rent are quite affordable in Japan. Also, eating out is quite affordable. Here you can see ramen noodles, 552 yen, coffee at a cafe, 543 yen. Both are about $3.50. So you could have a very affordable lunch generally on the campus when you come to Japan. So of course, your actual living expenses will depend on your kind of personal lifestyle, but this is kind of to give you a basic idea of what you might expect to pay when you live in Japan. Now, next, I'd like to talk a little bit about part-time work. This is kind of one of the main ways that our international students finance their studies here in Japan. So if you have a residency status student, then you can apply for this kind of permission, like permission to engage in activity other than permitted by the status of the residence previously granted. It's a little bit long name, but it basically means that students can engage in part-time work up to 28 hours per week. So when you arrive in Japan, then when you go through the passport control, you can ask the passport control to make this kind of work permit stamp in your residence card, and then you are ready to work in almost any kind of industry in Japan. There are some limitations. You shouldn't work in kind of nighttime activity fields, such as restaurants or bars. Restaurants are okay, but I think bars might not be okay, or kyabakura or any sort of adult entertainment is not allowed. But otherwise, you are quite free to work if you keep to this limit of 28 hours per week. And as you might know, Japan is suffering from aging society. So there's actually a lack of working people in Japan. So even if you don't speak perfect Japanese, there are quite a lot of opportunities for part-time work. And here I just put some websites you can check out, some services that can be used to look for part-time work. Of course, student visa is not really suitable for students or people who are interested in full-time work opportunities. If you work more than you're supposed to, you might get into trouble, and they might not renew your visa. So just keep in mind that this is supposed to be something to help you finance your studies, not to work full-time in Japan. Of course, there are opportunities at the university also to work part-time. This is something that I really recommend students to pursue. So you can work as a kind of teaching assistant or research assistant, perhaps help your professor plan or conduct their lectures, or work in your lab, maintaining the lab, things like that. This is something that is mostly available for graduate students who are kind of involved in specific labs under a specific professor. Then also the admissions office, so where I work, we offer the students work from time to time. We hire students to host campus tours or help us to do social media stuff, tutoring new students, things like that. There's also a kind of a big project inside the university, which is called Nagoya University English as a Medium of Instruction project. This project hires international students to tutor or teach Japanese students who would like to take some of our G30 program English courses. So it's a nice way to like earn a little bit of extra income, but also make some new Japanese friends. This kind of work is not necessarily completely regular or something you can count on every month, but there are kind of various projects. So if you're active by yourself, or can you ask around or keep up with the various social media inside the university, then these kinds of opportunities will be announced regularly. So usually we like to hire the same students who we know and trust, and who are always enthusiastic about working for the university. Yeah. So this is also a nice way of somehow kind of building up your CV. So this is what I did when I was a graduate student. I worked in this NUMI project, and I was also doing teaching assistant work in my lab, and I think it really helped me later on when I wanted to apply and become like a full-time staff at the university again. Now let's talk about the topic that you guys asked most questions about. So that's scholarships. So first, let me go over like scholarships available for the undergraduate students. So here you can see a graph showing this is this year's data of how the students of the G30 undergraduate program are financing their studies. So you can see here that about 18% of the students, like the undergraduate students who entered the G30 undergraduate program, were awarded a university recommended mixed scholarship. So I will go over what exactly that is. It's quite a generous full scholarships for 4 years. And then another 18% were awarded the G30 undergraduate scholarship, which again is a quite generous full 4-year scholarship. In addition to the G30 scholarship, we offer like Japanese government JASO scholarship, and some of the G30 scholarship students also receive a JASO scholarship, which is kind of on top of their already existing G30 scholarship. So they get even more money from the university. And some students get only the JASO scholarship. This one is a bit more short-term scholarship, so it's about, I think, from 6 months to 1 year, but it kind of helps you to get on your feet at the university and maybe find some part-time work the next year or the following semester. And then about one third, about 28% of our new G30 undergraduate students are privately funded. So these students don't have currently a scholarship, but they can later on apply for private scholarships, or they can work part-time, or perhaps their parents support them. So as you can see, like Nagoya University's scholarship policies are quite generous. So each year, about 60 to 70% of our G30 undergraduate students get some kind of scholarship before they enroll to the university. Yes. So let me introduce you to the scholarships that I just talked about to get you a better idea of what the university can offer to you. So I apologize if the slides are a bit full of text, but I thought I will give you the information and then you can refer back to it sometime later with all of the details written out for you. So as I mentioned, the G30 undergraduate program scholarship, it covers your tuition fully for 4 years, as well as the registration fee. This one you have to pay in advance, but once you enroll, it will be fully reimbursed to you. There's also a monthly stipend. It's a total of about 500,000 yen in a year for personal expenses, for rent, things like that. And again, this is for the full 4 years of your undergraduate degree. This does not cover the application fee, which was about $33, but I think that's quite reasonable. And the nice thing about this scholarship is that all students who apply for the G30 undergraduate program are eligible to apply for this scholarship. And the way you apply is that basically you simply click yes when you submit your G30 undergraduate program application. Yes, I want to apply for the scholarship. And then you submit the necessary documents, which are the scholarship application form and an income statement from your financial guarantor. So that could be a bank statement or a tax record or a letter from their employee. Important thing that it shows the annual income in a clear way so we can assess your financial need. So that is the first scholarship. This one we also offer specifically to Singaporean students. So there is some extra spots for the G30 undergraduate scholarship available for Singaporean students. This kind of project is funded by the Japan University's Graduates Association of Singapore, or JUGAS. So it kind of awards the same things as the G30 scholarship, but it also covers the economy class ticket from Singapore to the Chubo International Airport. So that's the main international airport in Nagoya, and also the return ticket to Singapore. And obviously, to apply for this, you must be a Singaporean citizen, and you must apply for the G30 program. And there is a paper-based application. If you are Singaporean and you want to learn more, I recommend you to visit their website for further details. So the other main undergraduate scholarship we have available is the MEX undergraduate scholarship. This is a university track recommendation, and this one also covers tuition, registration fee. This one also covers application fee. There's a monthly stipend, and in Nagoya, because we are a big city, you get a little bit extra money compared to some other regions. And they also cover round-trip airfare between your home country and Japan. And generally, most international students are eligible for this scholarship. So there are certain countries and regions designated by MEX. If you go through our website or the application guidelines, you will find a link to all the countries where you can apply for the MEX scholarship. Some countries, such as Taiwan, I think, are not on the list who can apply for the mixed scholarship. And also, as a general rule, Japanese passport holders are not eligible for this scholarship. So if you have a double citizenship, maybe you are Indonesian, but you also have a Japanese passport, then in that case, unfortunately, you are not eligible for the mixed undergraduate scholarship. Now, how to apply? It's the same process as for the undergraduate scholarship, the G30 undergraduate scholarship. So just click, yes, I want to apply for the scholarship, and submit the application form and your financial guarantees, basically your parents' income statement. And that's basically it. And both the mixed and the G30 scholarships are awarded based on need and merit. So we look at your academic record as well as your financial situation and make the decision based on that. So then the third scholarship we offer before enrollment is the JASO scholarship. This one, the monthly stipend is a bit smaller. It's about 48,000 yen, 6 months to a year. This one, Nagoya University has quite many slots. So even if you are not awarded the really prestigious G30 or mixed scholarships, then there are quite many slots for the JASO scholarship. And this one, you apply a bit later. So after you received your spot in the program in the spring, then this scholarship you apply in the summer. So the schedule is a bit later. Again, similar requirements. You have to have excellent academic records and financial need. This scholarship you can get if you are a G30 scholar, but you cannot get it if you are a mixed scholar, because just mixed scholarships both come from the government. This one is available for undergraduate and graduate students, and again, Japanese nationals or permanent resident visa holders are not eligible. So for these scholarships, there are minimum GPA and English or Japanese proficiency requirements. So you will need to submit some documentation when you apply. So here it says apply after the enrollment, but actually you can apply the summer before you enroll or later on if you want to. So yes. So again, there is kind of a few versions of the JASO scholarship. And one of the versions of the JASO scholarship is called the EJU scholarship. So some of you might be familiar, but there is a examination for Japanese university admission for international students. It's called, or short version is EJU. This is a examination that you can take to enter a Japanese university. It's not required for Nagoya University program or G30 programs, but it's kind of a good chance for you to get a scholarship. So if you do this test and you get a really good score, then JASO might give you a 4-year version of the JASO scholarship. So it's basically the same amount. The monthly stipend is the same, but it's for 4 years. And this is also something that you can have in addition to your G30 scholarship. So yeah, if you're kind of thinking about maybe doing the EJU examination, then I really recommend you to try it and see if you could also score one of these scholarships. And you apply when you register for your EJU examination. And again, here is more information on the EJU website. Great. So I think there's one more undergraduate scholarship, and that is the Fast Retailing, or sometimes we call Uniqlo scholarship. So Fast Retailing Foundation is a foundation owned by the Fast Retailing Corporation. That's the company that owns the clothing brand Uniqlo, and they give out scholarships for talented Vietnamese and Indonesian students who wish to study at Japanese universities. So this is limited by nationality, but it's quite a generous scholarship. So it covers tuition, it gives a quite generous monthly allowance. Again, it covers airfare as well as overseas travel insurance. It's a very competitive scholarship because it is such a good scholarship. So they have set some minimum requirements in terms of English, as well as you need to pass a certain academic minimum. So if you have taken the SAT score, or maybe you're in the IB program or A-level program, then they have specified the minimum scores you need to apply. So you apply generally before you enter any program in Japan. So I think this year's application period is already over. You would need to register to apply in July, August, and then you submit your application in September, and then they do interviews and choose the recipients. And once you've received the scholarships, then you can apply to various different universities in Japan. And they have a short list of kind of some top universities in Japan that you can enter with this scholarship. And of course, Nagoya University is also included. So for any Vietnamese or Indonesian student, I really highly recommend looking into the Fast Retailing Foundation scholarship. Great. So I have been talking a lot about the undergraduate scholarships. Next, I would like to introduce some of the graduate level scholarships we have available. So first of all, I would like to introduce you to a really great resource. It's called the Doctoral Education Consortium website. This website, you can scan the QR code here if you're interested. It contains information about research opportunities at Nagoya University, like things like how to apply for tuition exemption, and then it offers information about various scholarship programs available for graduate students. Quite many of these are specifically targeting doctoral students, but some of these also are available for master students. So let me introduce a few of them to you. So the first really kind of big scholarship that we get a lot of questions about is called the MEXT Research Student Scholarship. So this scholarship covers tuition, registration fee, application fee. There's a monthly spend, again, round trip airfare, and you're also allowed to spend 6 months in Japan studying Japanese before you enter your graduate program. And if you're applying for a PhD, then you can extend the scholarship for 2 more years after the initial 2 years. So it's quite a generous scholarship offered by the Japanese government to kind of top students who can do research in a Japanese university. So this is for master's and doctoral students. And again, the limitation is you need to be kind of from a country that is approved by MEXT, and you cannot be a Japanese passport holder. There's also an age limit, which I think you need to be probably under 35 to apply. So most of our scholarships, there is no age limit, but for this one there is. And there are 2 ways of applying. So you can apply through your embassy in your own country, the Japanese embassy in your own country. And I would say this is the kind of, you will have the best chance of applying for this scholarship if you apply through the embassy in your own country. Nagoya University also offers a university recommended mixed research student scholarship, but it depends on the department and the year. So there are only a few scholarship spots for the whole university, and they rotate from department to department. So you have to be lucky on your year that when you decide to apply, that the scholarship is available in your department and that you are the top students that they wanted to award that to. But of course, it's somebody always gets it, so don't be shy to ask about it. So the way you apply for it is that you should find a master or PhD supervisor and ask them to recommend you as a university recommended mixed scholarship recipient. So the professor can find out, or the kind of student affairs office in the graduate school can let you know if there are any of these scholarships available the year you apply. Then there's something called the Nagoya University WISE program. This is a kind of a specific program targeting certain research fields, especially science and engineering fields. So I will not go into the fine details of this scholarship, but basically there are some key research fields, 4 key research fields that the government really wants to kind of promote and emphasize. And if you're doing research in one of these key fields, then you might be eligible to apply for these scholarships. So, for example, they say there's a program for collaborative graduate program for accelerating innovation in future electronics. So if your kind of research topics falls inside this kind of topic, you might be able to apply. This is not like limited by field. It's limited by research topic. So if you're kind of savvy in the way you plan your research plan, then it might be recommended to kind of take a look at the different fields, what kind of students they are looking for, and kind of craft your research plan to fit one of these 4 fields. Then you might have a bigger chance of getting one of these scholarships. So here you can see the financial details. So these are mostly meant for students who are planning to do a doctorate degree. So some of these kind of programs support already students in the master's degree, but then they kind of expect you to continue to a doctoral degree after you finish your master. So if you're kind of curious to learn more, then you can scan this QR code. I will send all of the slides to you after this presentation, so you can take a careful look later on. Then there is the JSPS Research Fellowship for Young Scientists. So JSPS is a Japanese governmental agency that is kind of in charge of supporting research and distributing research funding to Japanese universities. So they offer these kinds of research scholarships, mostly for doctoral students and postdoctoral researchers. So here you can see that the grants are quite generous. They are kind of in line with the kind of working salaries in Japan. So since this is such a good scholarship, it's also a very competitive scholarship. Anybody can apply if you're a doctoral student. So the field doesn't matter. You can be in humanities, social science, or natural science. Also, it doesn't matter which nationality you are. This is a scholarship that is also open for Japanese nationals. It's very competitive. I think to get one of these JSPS grants, you should already have published peer-reviewed papers before you apply for this. You need to show that you already have research ability in order to get this scholarship. So there are quite many types of these JSPS scholarships. So you can check the website, Doctoral Educational Consortium, or the JSPS website for more information on how to apply for this scholarship. Now, moving on to some private foundation scholarships. So in addition to these types of scholarships that are kind of offered through Nagoya University or offered with the help of Nagoya University, there are also a lot of scholarships available from private foundations, which you'd have to kind of research and find on your own. But there are a lot of great resources to find them. So Nagoya University itself, of course, has a website listing all the different types of private foundation scholarships. So here you can see, this is like a screenshot from the website. You can see that there are a lot of different scholarships. Their application periods vary and their requirements vary. So some of these might be for master students or graduate students. Some of them might be for specific nationalities or specific fields. So you kind of have to like search through the list and find a scholarship that fits your profile. The thing about these private foundation scholarships is that quite many of them ask you to submit your application in Japanese. So you have to have already some Japanese ability to apply. There might also be an interview in Japanese. So you kind of have to be careful of figuring out which scholarship you can actually apply for. But the kind of student exchange division at Nagoya University, who is in charge of kind of helping the students with these scholarships, they can help you and guide you and kind of give you advice on which of the scholarships is kind of best suited for your needs. So this is something that we try to offer to like the privately funded students at Nagoya University. So even the 30% who in the previous graph didn't get the scholarships before they enrolled, then quite many of them can get one of these scholarships after they enroll. Another really great resource is the Study in Japan JASO organization's website. You can go to this link or you can scan this QR code. Every year they publish this scholarship for international students in Japan kind of handbook, which details in great detail all different scholarships available for international students. There's a list like this there. It's several pages long, and it lists the name of the scholarships and the foundation, who can apply for it, is it for a specific field or specific region, how much money you can get, how long the scholarship is, and things like that. So again, you kind of have to figure out which scholarship fits your profile and go from there. But yeah, I think kind of the main message that I want to give to you guys today is that like studying in Japan is not that expensive, and there is a lot of support available. So if you are kind of motivated and like do your research well in advance, then I think most students who study in Japan have an opportunity to get some kind of scholarship. And yeah, there are a lot of options available. So I want to just say at the end of this presentation a few words about career paths after graduation, because of course studying in a university is expensive, but it's also an investment on your future, that after you get the great education that you get in Nagoya University or some other university in Japan, then that also means that you can step to the next level of your career and have a more professional job. So something that we are really proud in Nagoya University is that 97% of our fourth year undergraduate students received a job offer to enter a graduate school or like a company before their graduation. So like generally, Nagoya University is a very respected university in Japan. So generally, all of our students can get some kind of job even before they graduate. Usually 1 year to 6 months before they graduate, they already have an offer for a job. So I have listed here some companies that some of our G30 students have entered. So you can see some quite famous companies here: Tesla, Volvo. There are a lot of like car companies because we teach automotive engineering. There are several banks here as well, some cosmetics companies, some like consulting companies. So generally, our students do quite well when they are looking for a job. Most of our students actually continue to graduate school after their undergraduate program. So we are also very proud of how well our students have done for their graduate school choices. So some of them have continued to such famous universities as Stanford University, University of Oxford, University of Cambridge. Many of them continue at Nagoya University. So since our program emphasizes research a lot, quite many of our students become professional researchers after graduation. And if you're kind of interested about the career opportunities after graduation, then I would also recommend you to check out our Career Path of Alumni website. You can scan the QR code here, and here you can search by kind of field and nationality to see which kind of paths our former students have taken. So that was a little bit long explanation, but I hope there was a lot of good, useful information for you guys there. So now if you want, you can ask questions. So you can raise your hand or you can just open your mic if you have any questions to me.